So we all had got lice, and it started with one of my daughters. We were somewhere, and how I found out she had lice was, we were somewhere, and there was a little boy playing with the rock. He threw it up high, and it landed on her head. She's screaming, she's crying, because when the rock landed on her head, it made that big old thump. So I'm over here checking on her, trying to see if everything is all right. I looked to see if she has like a bump on her head, because she just got hit with a rock. And so as I'm looking, I had to blink again, because I'm like, wait, did I just see something moving? And when I looked again, I was like, okay, wait, hold on. Is it a bug in her head? So, after I got done doing what I was doing, I called her back over and I said, let me check your head again. And when I checked her head again, I didn't see not one, not two, not three. I seen several crawling on her scalp. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait a minute. I know that this is not no lice. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this lice? So I'm panicking. We hop in the car. We rush down to urgent care. I didn't know where else to go. I was like, I ain't never dealt with lice before. So I was like, okay, off to urgent care we go. I'm flying down I-95, trying to get her to urgent care. She freaking out. I'm freaking out, because I'm like, it's bugs in my child head, and I think it's lice, but I'm not sure, because I'm like, I thought black people don't get lice. So I'm like, oh my gosh. All right. So we finally end up to urgent care, get her checked in. A lady, the nurse comes outside to where we are at, and she says, well, we don't prescribe medication for it. It's all over the counter. With this being my first time, I didn't know anything, pertaining to lice. Black people couldn't get it. According to her, when I asked her that question, I said, wait a minute, so if she has lice, I thought black people couldn't get lice. She was like, she laughed, she chuckled. She was like, black people get it all the time. And she was a black nurse as well. And, she said that she had got it all the time as well from, back from where, she was born at. And I was just sitting there stunned, like, oh my gosh, my child got bugs in her head. Like, she got lice in her head. Finally get in to see the actual doctor. The actual doctor said, yes, she has lice. And I'm just puzzled. I'm like, all these years I've heard that we do not get lice. But here I am, and here we are, and my child has lice. All right, boom. She said, we don't do the prescription. We don't prescribe any prescription anymore. This is what you need to do. Go to CVS or Walmart and get this kit, and they'll take care of it. Boom. Go. Now we leaving from the doctor's office, because I'm panicking. I'm like, my child got bugs in her head. I just could not comprehend as to how my child got lice, and why she got lice. Like, of all things, she got lice. So, I fly down to Walmart, get the kit. I'm like, wait, hold on. I pause in my tracks. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all want $30 for this lice shampoo kit? $30? All right. I'm like, okay, well, and the bottle was so little. I'm like, wait a minute. No, okay. Look at my child need this. My child need this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to buy this lice kit for $30. So as soon as we get it, I rush to where we were at, and I start the treatment on her head. Take about 10. It said leave it on her head for 10, because of the amount of bugs. Like I said, I seen not one, not two, not three, but several. Oh man, after that I seen several more, and it was really bad. She had a lot of bugs in her head, and So I left the kit on for like, I left the shampoo on for like 30 minutes. Left it on for 30 minutes for her, and rinsed it out. As I was rinsing it out, I seen some of the bugs fall out, coming out of her head. They were dead. But then when it came time to do her hair, like section her hair off in four sections, it came time for me to use the lice comb. It said in the instructions, use the lice comb to on damp hair, so you can comb out I guess it's supposed to be getting the lice eggs and stuff. So as I'm combing through with the lice comb, using the lice comb for, I guess, the eggs, it was heaps of dead lice falling out on my lap. I'm trying to hold it together for her, because she already freaking out, and if I make any kind of noise or anything, she freaking out. I mean, it was a whole infestation of lice in her head. And as I'm doing this, I'm like, how can this be? Because I literally just looked through her head. Like, I literally like did her hair, and we did like family portraits, and like I sectioned off her hair, and I was putting moisturizer and everything in it. And I'm like, wait a minute. I never seen this. Like, I'm like, retracing my steps and thinking about certain things, and I'm like, didn't see anything. And when we so as the heaps and heaps of eggs and stuff is coming out, I'm just like puzzled, because it was really, 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 really bad. And like I said, this was my first time dealing with this, so I did not know what I was truly dealing with. And on the instructions, it said do it on damp hair. I heard Holy Spirit, because I started getting frustrated. I was starting to tap out, because mind you, it is 2:00 in the morning. It's early in the morning that I'm doing this, and I've been on her head using that little small lice comb for a whole 6 hours straight. She bobbing and weaving and cause she trying to keep up and everything, but it was not a fun process trying to use that little lice comb. And with our type of hair, we have kinky curly hair, and the ends of our hair, using the comb to slide the comb through the hair. No, it's not that easy, because our hair at the ends are curly and it's kinky. No, it's not that easy. So I was struggling real bad. First time dealing with this. So I heard Holy Spirit say, use oil. And I'm like, use oil. Okay, so I used oil. He said just use oil. He didn't really say, how to use it. So I just started using oil on her head, and I think that worked a lot better than leaving her hair damped, dry, leaving her hair damp and, doing it that way. But, along the way, I started, figuring out what's a, better way of approaching this. So I'm finally getting done with, using the oil on her hair and using the lice comb to the best of my ability, the way that I, what the instructions was telling me to do. Finally come to an end. It's about 3:00 in the morning. That process took about 6 hours. And it was not fun. It was horrible. So towards the end of this 6 hours of working on her head, it was like Holy Spirit was like, check everybody else's head. And I'm like, check everybody else's head. Okay. So I checked and I said, come here. And I looked and I seen one crawling in my other daughter's head. Then I looked in my other daughter, because I have 3 kids, 3 girls. It was crawling in her head too. By that time, I done freaked out. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm over here feeling bad. I'm like mad. I got all these different emotions and stuff. But, what can I do? They have to get the treatment as well. And I'm just sitting down thinking, like, how could this have happened? Where in the world would we get lice from? Not only that, I had to let my sister know. Because as I was studying, I found out that, lice can be transferred from head to head, especially if you are in close contact with each other, sleeping on the same beds, etc. It's contagious. You can transfer it if you have the adult lice in your head. So I had to tell her, look through your children's head, because they have lice. And she looked through she looked through their heads and said that she didn't see anything, or her husband didn't see anything. But I was informing them, like, hey, you gotta look close, because once you try to open up the hair, them things, they know how to run and hide real good. So you could easily miss it. You thinking, oh, nope, I just did a quick look through. Like, no, those things, they hide really good. And they, because they don't like light. They hide, and they're so close to the scalp. And so, it's like you have to sit there and you have to look, like really intentionally look. And it's not a quick thing. So, they looked at, looked on their kids' head and found out that they had it too. And I'm like, and that crushed me. That crushed me so bad, because I was like, wow, we sat here and transferred lice to someone else. It's bad enough that it's us, and we need some help and assistance with this, but it's another thing, the person you're closest with got lice too. Their kids have lice too. And so, like, that was a horrible experience. It was a total of 5 of us. My 3 kids, her 2 kids, and 6 of us, and including me. I had lice too. I was checking through my scalp, and I was looking, and I seen one at the front of my head hanging out, chilling. I think it was dead. But yeah, it was just hanging out in the front of my head, chilling right there. I'm like, oh my gosh. And that's what led to me cutting my hair. Because I was like, we had to deal with not only the eggs, not only the lice, washing shampoo and the lice out of the hair, but you have to deal with the eggs. You have to get all of the eggs that they laid out. And mind you, my child had this in her head for about 2 weeks, and we didn't know. Again, like, we did not know. And going through that process of manually using your fingers to remove the eggs, it was so tedious. It took me all day, maybe 11 hours to do one child's head, because I didn't know anything else to do. And I wasn't going to pay anybody to do it, because they were charging us about $1,000 For all of our heads, they were charging us $1,000, and I was like, even if I had it, if I can do it myself, I'm gonna do it myself. Hey, I got Holy Spirit. He gonna direct me and show me exactly what I need to do. Ain't nobody gonna get these $1,000 over here. So, after dealing with that, I'm telling you, the process was not a skip and a hop. Like this was an ongoing process. Days, weeks, like this lice is nothing to play with. Lice is a complete nightmare. And the fact that all 6 of us had got lice, and like it was the worst nightmare anybody could ever deal with, And like I came to a place where I was like, you know what? I'm giving up on this right here, because like lice almost tried to take me out for real. On top of everything else that I was going through as well. Like this was like, how they say the icing on the cake or something? Like this was something that was like trying to top everything else that I was dealing with. I'm like, it was not good. It was not a good experience, and I wouldn't want anybody to go through that. But I will say that throughout the process, I learned a whole lot. I even learned some different ways of how to go about, the whole egg process, and without having to actually, physically, manually using your fingers to remove it. Like, it's other ways that you can do it, and that will not take you all day long to do this. I also learned that, I didn't have to go and spend a whole $30 on a lice kit either. Okay? Like, it's a lot of information that I had learned during this process. And, I'm just thankful to God that I was able to, see the other side of this, because in the midst of this, it was something that was very challenging. It was something that was something that would try to suck the life out of you. Suck the very life out of you, literally. As the lice loves to go to your scalp and suck the blood out of your scalp, same thing. This lice thing tried to suck the joy out of me and everything. Tried to put me in a mental place, but I thank God that it could not hold me down. It didn't. And I'm just here to bring awareness. Black people get lice too. You are not exempt. Even if you drown your head in oil and keep greasing it, that doesn't stop you from getting it. You can get it as well. Nobody is exempt. There's no specific, it doesn't discriminate. Anybody can get it. Now, you keep products and stuff in your head, you may not get it as they'll die in your head, because it cannot survive off of hair that has products in it and different chemicals and stuff in it. Nobody is exempt. Anybody can get it. Black, white, Puerto Rican, it don't matter what color. It's not about the color of your skin or how much grease you use. It can affect you. And so, just be aware. I will have more videos coming out as to the different things that I did do to make the process go faster and easier. Certain things that, Holy Spirit showed me of what to do in that process, and that it actually did work. And then, because it's about going on about two months now. Going on about 2 months now that we have been lice free, and we have been doing very well. And especially doing the steps that we have we have done for our kinky curly textured hair. You know, those lice combs, they don't work good at all. So I have learned, you know, different techniques, different things that I can do, you know, since our type of hair is a different type of textured hair than, you know, the fine hair and, you know, the medium, then the fine and the medium hair. So, you know, that's our story. You know, you can get it. All it takes is for it to enter into your scalp, and there you go. You have it. So I hope that something that was said, you know, you take heed to, and, you know, just making sure that, you know, you all are, you know, aware. That's my whole purpose for doing this video. I want you all to be aware that, you know, hey, lice does not discriminate.